Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Trading. I'm Randy. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and start a series of technical analysis and trading tips that you'll get over the next coming days, maybe weeks, depending if you guys like it or not, or we'll just sprinkle it in there with a couple of trades. So let's get to the tips at the end of the video. Right now we'll talk about Bitcoin. And also, please let me know what you think about it at the end in the comments. I'd appreciate that. And like it if you do like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, BTC with a bunch more random action here, unfortunately. We're still reeling from the drop the other day. Haven't found a lot of buyers with confidence to step in the market quite yet. At a time like this in the market, when you have a potential breakout and then you get instantly distributed into, that's going to move a lot of buyers to the sidelines. They're going to wait and see if there's another leg to the downside, another shoe to drop, if you will. And we'll see if that's yet to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. Nobody knows if it's going to happen, but it brings a lot of charts into question. And during this time, it's really hard to take trades. At the same time, there are possibilities throughout the market during a time like this, but they're all suspect because if Bitcoin drops, they will drop as well. And so, yeah, that's pretty much why I'm going to do trading tips for a little bit here, because I just think it's a dangerous environment. And if things get better, we'll obviously have some really good opportunities for you. But Bitcoin choppy right now, not much to do until it shows its true form. If we distribute again, we're probably going to go back down and test lows, or we'll find support before we do that. Other than that, we're just going to be chopping around. If we break out, obviously we found support here at the 27,289, which was our breakout level, and then we'll move up and we'll have that for you as well. All right, so on to our trading tips. Basically, I'm going to do one a day, and my tip today is I want to show you what coins to avoid trading from a technical perspective. You're going to see a lot of news articles out there. You're going to see a lot of things that are going to get you excited about a token. And I've got two to show you today that are just bad. Okay, the first one is Alice versus BTC. I'm choosing the BTC charts because they're a little bit more obvious why they're bad. So let's get to that. Now, I'm going to zoom out on this Alice chart. You never want to buy a token that is just stuck in a malaise downtrend. People think there can be a lot of value in tokens like these, and in some cases there are, but a vast majority of the time, 98 to 99.5% of the time, you're going to take a large loss waiting for something to happen, okay? So one way you can tell is if you're just in a very, very steep decline like this, never really break out into highs, and it just continues going lower. Just because you see an article or something that looks good about the token, don't get sucked into something because it looks good on a news article, because let's keep in mind most news articles aren't even actually news. They're just a comment. News to me is something that is pertinent to the fundamental something of the coin. It doesn't matter what it is. If you remember, I think back in 2019, maybe it was, everybody was coming out with a wallet. And there was this wallet and that wallet and that wallet, and they would have this big spike on the wallet news, and it would just erode away because the wallet doesn't mean anything. I mean, yeah, you should have a wallet if you're a layer 1 network. So that's what was happening back then. But you're going to see a bunch of randomness, and you have to assess the news that you're looking at. And then when you see the news, look at the chart. If this is in a downtrend like this, and we're just continuing lower, I'm just going to draw some squares here, block after block of lower lows and lower highs. You don't want to get involved. And then once it starts breaking horizontals, it gets even worse. So we're going to look at APT for an example of that. APT did have a really good rally. So here's where I want to show you the difference, okay? So here's a steep downtrend. You want to avoid this in the steep downtrend, right? So you're in the downtrend. You get some good news down here. Maybe you like it. You're like, oh, there's some great news here. And look, it's really low. But then it just goes sideways for months and months. Then it continues down lower, taking you down substantially. Where you want to get interested is actually if you have a declining trend line break like this, especially if it's an ICO. Okay, so you want to avoid these coins in these deep downtrends. You want to wait for something called a change in behavior. And that's when things get interesting. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But avoid these in these steep downtrends. And this one, you would have had to avoid under a few circumstances, right? Now, here's a situation where after this thing is broken down, there's a clear horizontal level that was broken, okay? In this situation, if you find news off of a clear horizontal level at a low level like this, after it's dropped substantially and you have a horizontal, you've got to wait for the tops of these to break, okay? But avoid these tokens. Avoid these tokens that are in long, drawn-out downtrends. It's when they change that trend that you should get interested. All right, guys, let me know what you thought about this quick tip down below. I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow on Altcoin Buzz Trading.